In my lifetime, we have never seen Black Stars win a trophy. Never.
People hold people responsible when there's failure. Why must these people not be recognized when there's success?
But after that, we should give them $100,000. People deserve to have 100,000 bonuses. People who have been accused, allegedly, it is alleged that they select the players, not even the coach. So the same person who will sit there and bash the government and point out their flaws and their errors, and he's disappointed in this, he's disappointed in that. One particular one, land had been sold to certain people. He said, hey, and all that. Besides all that, when it became something that will benefit him, or his interest is at stake, or he's an executive council member or management member, he is justifying this rot of people receiving $100,000 for not progressing, and he is calling it success. Now, this is a current affairs show, so I really watch a lot of current affairs to keep myself abreast with the times, what's trending. Then I come here and share with you. So, in watching these current affairs shows, there are a couple of shows I watch. One of them is Poladum Ochi. Love or hate the man, he has some of the best editorials I've ever watched. They are always very educated. Maybe personally, I think he should stick more to that, but then it's his choice. I still watch him regardless. Then I also watch the person I'm going to talk about today, Dr. Randy Abbey. Yes, I also like his show because it's also current affairs in terms of politics and all those things. So I keep updated by watching these things. Now, one thing that struck me about him, in this era where there's been a lot of rot, a lot of corruption, he's one of the voices, because if you watch his show, he seems to be neutral, where it's like there is an issue in the government. So then he is talking about the issue. He's always, where people go wrong, he tries to correct them and all that. So he's always trying to point out people's flaws. When his guests make statements they shouldn't make, whether they're MPP or NDC, he talks about it. Especially when it's like the sitting government, they make statements that are wrong, or someone from the opposition government comes out and says that, especially someone like Okujeto Ablakwa, Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, who has always been coming out with exposés. When he comes, Dr. Randy Abbey is like, hey, really? Like, and I watch all those things because, like I said, I have to stay updated with the times. Now, this is the point. So the whole year, he has seemed to me, we didn't start this show very long. It's not even been a year. So the whole year, he has seemed to me like someone, like I said, who is neutral and all that. And I've appreciated that, because we want to hear people who are not backed by any, it's like, interests. Okay. Now, this same Dr. Randy Abbey, who has been pointing out the flaws in the current government, was invited to a parliamentary select committee. Now, the whole issue was about, let me read this part. So he was speaking before the parliamentary select committee investigating a petition from the Save Ghana football demonstration in February. So he was part of the people, the executive council, who came to speak at the parliamentary select committee. Now, this is why we are going to talk about Dr. Randy Abbey. Some of the things he said, or one particular thing he said.
Management committee members are not paid a salary or an allowance. So you could be on a management committee for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years, for 4 years. The GFA does not pay anything to management committee members as monthly allowance or sitting allowance, even when they attend meetings. It's not done. I have been a management committee chairman for God knows how many years. I have never been paid a monthly allowance by the FA by virtue of being a management committee member or a sitting allowance. It is when you travel with the team, everybody on the team is paid a per diem. And you are also entitled to the per diem just like anybody else on the team. And then this issue of um, management bonuses and all that, I think that a lot of fetish has been created about it, and we need to deal with it. Look, why do we pay a bonus? We pay a bonus for recognition of success. So, success has been achieved, and we think that it ought to be rewarded. And so we identify those who are responsible as far as the success is concerned, and then we reward them. Is that not the case? Now, I always ask, in this country, when the Black Stars fail, they fail to perform. What's the first name that is mentioned? It's the GFA president. Even before people go to speak about the coach and even want to speak about players. I mean, there are people who don't even know who the Mazer or the physio or the assistant coach of the national team is. People hold people responsible when there's failure. Why must these people not be recognized when there's success? If you think that it is okay to hold people responsible when there's failure, why must you not see it as okay to reward those people when there's success? Today, who has been invited by Parliament here? Who? Who are those who are before Parliament today? Why have these people been invited before Parliament today? It is because Parliament believes that these are the people who ought to be held responsible. It's because petitioners and some leaders in Parliament believe that the people who run this association ought to be held responsible for the result in the association. So if you think that people hold their responsibility or must be held responsible for what happens, why is it that when there is success and you decide that you want to reward the team for success, you think that a particular group must be denied that? It is okay to hold them responsible when there's failure, but when there is success, they must be exempted.
So this is the point on I Don't Care today. Dr. Randy Abe was asked the question about the $100,000 people received. So you remember after our failed World Cup push, people, management committee members received as part of everything $100,000, and people have been speaking. Why did they receive this? Now, Dr. Randy Abe is telling us that when they fail, we hold them responsible and accountable. Now, let me point this out. Down the line, after he said this, he came out to say that 100,000 he did not receive part of that. Good, he has said that. I want to believe him because he said it. Now he's saying that when the team fails, we quote the GFA president Keto Kreku and the likes, or my favorite Kwesi Nyantechi. We hold them accountable. So now, if there is success, why shouldn't they enjoy of the success? My question to Dr. Randy Abe is, what does he term as success? Because this is a team that failed to progress from the group stage. Besides that, in the final game where we thought we were going to avenge what had happened in the past, Suarez outplayed us, and then we missed the penalty, and then they scored us, I think it was 2-0. So we failed to qualify for the next stage. And Dr. Randy Abe is saying that when there is success, they should enjoy. So that my question to Dr. Randy Abe is, what does he term as success? Is the money, the $100,000, the success he's talking about, or the fact that we didn't progress, or the fact that we just made it to the World Cup but we didn't progress? What exactly is the success here? He sees nothing wrong with someone receiving $100,000 as part of a failed campaign. We didn't progress to beyond group stage. Let's pause. We'll come back to that. Before that, in my lifetime, unfortunately, I've never seen Black Stars win a trophy. Never in my lifetime. Never. We've heard about how great we were. That should tell you I'm really young. I'm about 16 years now. I've never seen Black Stars win a trophy We've been close. There have been times where we've been close. We've been second. So I judge that as progress, right? Beyond the group stage, semi-final, final, that is progress. But I do not judge failure to qualify out of even the group stage as success. And because of that, people deserve to have 100,000 bonuses. People who have been accused, allegedly, it is alleged that they select the players, not even the coach. So for whatever reason, people are claiming that they bring up the names. Each person has a quota who brings up names of people who they think should play. That is not enough success for them. But after that, we should give them $100,000. Now, why am I discussing this one? I don't care. He made a particular statement. He said that he has been a management committee chairman for, it's like God knows how long. What's the point there? The point there is, then whether he received 100,000 or not, this is something that interests him because he's part of the management committee, and in essence, certain payments he will stand to benefit. He thinks it is justifiable for them when they have failed to qualify for the next stage to receive $100,000. But when a politician does it, it is wrong. Now, that is his thinking. Let me point out why I'm saying that is his thinking. In a submission, he said that we do not receive sitting allowance and monthly allowance. So he's talking to the parliamentary select committee. So he's pointing out, you people enjoy more than us. I'm paraphrasing. That's what he's trying to say. You people enjoy more than us. We don't receive this, we don't receive that. Then he points out, but we receive per diem. So whatever per diem the Black Stars are receiving, they all receive it. But let's put that aside and say that we don't receive anything. Okay. Now he's trying to say that we don't. So first of all, he's comparing, and then he's justifying why they must receive those huge sums, 100,000 bonuses for doing next to nothing. $100,000, oh, dollars at today's rate. Check how much that is. So the same person who will sit there and bash the government and point out their flaws and their errors, and he's disappointed in this, he disappointed in that one particular one, land had been sold to certain people. He said, hey, and all that. Besides all that, when it became something that will benefit him or his interest is at stake or he's an executive council member or management member, he is justifying this rot of people receiving $100,000 for not progressing, and he is calling it success. To Dr. Randy Ape, per this statement, the success might be the $100,000, not necessarily the fact that we came out of the group stage. That is what I understand by this. So on the one hand, Obi Yenye. On the other hand, this one is justifiable. So it is the same way these politicians go to parliament and they begin to justify things. You see, everybody has a lens with which they look at things. So they sit there and say, oh, I mean, I drive all these long miles. So the fuel allowance is justified, even though I'm really doing nothing here. Oh, I need a convoy because I have to get here fast. Oh, this galamsey thing they are saying. Indeed, when you check, NDC era was they also polluted the water. So then another honorable another will stand up and say, you people polluted the water more than us. Because in his lens and where he sits, it is right what he's saying. Then in that way, none of us should come and come and bash them for wrong statements, because what they are saying, they are right in their own opinion. Success is progression. Success is winning a trophy. Anybody who qualifies will go there. And then I'm not saying qualification is not an is an easy thing. No, that's not what I'm saying. But failure to progress from good stage is not success that must merit $100,000. That is not success. The money in this case seems to be the success he's talking about. Again, I repeat, why am I talking about this one? I don't care. Because I've been telling you that Everybody has an interest. Every single person has an interest. They stand to gain from something before they do it. That's one thing I've realized about Ghanaians. There is a spirit of what is in it for me instead of what is in it for the collective as all. So I'm just reaffirming what I've been saying on this show, that for your next election on December 7th, ask yourself, what is in it for me? What is the party I'm going to vote for coming to do for me? If the sitting party has promised more, because yes, they have a new candidate, their new flag bearers, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and he has promised more, and you believe in his vision, do it. If you think we should do Sankofa and go back for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, go for him. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But your interest must be at heart. Don't put your vote on autopilot. Think about, what do I stand to gain? What are their policies? How will it help me? What has happened in the past 8 years? Must it continue? If it must continue, fine. If it mustn't, who are the other candidates? What do they have to offer? What does Alan Chairman of the Butterfly, what Afrafranto, what does he offer? What does freedom offer? I think on our next episode, I'm going to talk about looking into freedom. Nana Kwame Bedia, is it Nana Kwame Bedia's manifesto? I want to point out certain things in there. Look out for what is in it for you. Then you go out and vote. Stop this autopilot. I'm telling you, you stand to gain nothing. Check, listen to manifestos, look at track record. What is in it for me? Because even people we thought are Cape Crusaders or neutrals seem to, when it comes to where they have interest, the narrative seems to shift. It is the same way I'm sitting here because my interest is for you to subscribe to my channel. So before you leave, kindly subscribe. There is more coming your way from me. So ladies and gentlemen, like I always say, I don't care about politics. I don't care about what is going on in the country. I don't care about MPP. I don't care about NDC. I don't care about inflation and all. If I don't care, it doesn't affect me, right?